everything's hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
Today, my new dad and I shot off a rocket in the park.
Today, my new son and I failed to shoot off a rocket.
The rocket launched into the air.
And then crashed into the pond.
I'll never forget that day.
I'll never forget that day, even if I tried.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Welcome to thepowervoices.com. It's Anna Marie fist fighting her microphone on the Comedy Hour Live. And I have with me tonight some guests that I am so pleased to have here. I got Daryl, is it Comac?
It's K-Mac.
K-Mac. See, I told you I always get the names. It's like my trademark, fuck up the names. I got Rocky. Rocky did that awesome flyer. Thank you so much. Yeah, Rocky the comic. And I also have Miss L.J. Brown. I did. You know, I don't know why I want, and you said that, I always call you EJ. Mm-hmm. And in back of us, this young man that came in with Daryl is...
See, you was doing too much. You was
Big
doing all
Bad
right.
Bo. Well, I did. Well, he was the last
I knew
minute.
you were going to
just
forget
come
it,
in.
though.
Guy in the corner. I'm allowed these things. But yeah, I mean, welcome you guys. It's wicked nice to have you. As you know, we don't have a format, so just feel free to shoot the shit on anything you want. Me, my personal big thing is moving in LA. It's like the grind of paperwork. Who are you? Give us your social security number, your firstborn. I want copies of this one. You got any bank accounts behind that one? And
that's real talk.
I think
that's why most people end up homeless in LA, because they just be like, fuck it. Nope.
Well, yeah. I mean, you would think a credit score. Not only that, like I'm wondering if, that's also something they're going to have in dating sites, because it's become such a criteria. What's your fucking credit score? And, do you have dental insurance?
Just your fucking dating score.
So did you what's your credit score?
I'm 8.3 on the dating scale.
On the dating scale.
I think credit score, though, is something that you typically ask on a first date, right? Second date, maybe?
Second date, right.
What's your FICO?
You got a dental plan? What
It's
you
like
got going on?
Yeah.
Like,
That's what you do now, but when
I
was
need to
coming
know
up,
what's
you
happening.
You took your chances. You had no idea what the credit score was until you tried to buy something.
Yeah, well, I commented on that. People when I was in retail saying that I'd like to try for the credit, and I'd be like, this ain't a sporting event.
Try for the credit.
You either have credit or you don't. How do you not know you don't or do have credit?
Yeah, unfortunately, my people are always trying for the credit.
Trying
Ain't that
for the
right,
credit.
Rocky?
Well, sometimes it's before you.
You're not even on the mic, so it's just
Well, I would have people that would just say, you're saying they would go, "What, you don't think I have any credit?" And like before I'd even say anything, or like we just enter the information, and then they come back and they're like, "That woman wouldn't give me any credit. I came in because I have not gotten a letter from her." Like, who? I look like a loaning institution. Never mind giving you professional loaning advice. And do you know that you can't even give somebody advice if you're not a trained professional in financing when you're doing anything to do with financing? You know, as a person just entering.
That makes sense.
Right, but to think the frightening thing of it is, I'm looking at this one going, I'm selling furniture, and you think I know this shit? Why?
Yeah.
Well, shoot, with my wife and I, to this day, she still doesn't use her married name. She still uses her maiden name, because when we got together, my credit was bad. So we had this alternating credit thing that we did for a while. You know, she had the good credit, so we used that.
Heck
and then
yeah.
hers, by the time hers got bad, mine was better then, then we started.
So is
using mine.
that what it was love because he had no credit?
I had no credit.
She probably didn't find out till they got married.
Yeah,
that's
that's
what she found
it.
out.
Yeah, see?
Oh, by the way,
Yeah, because this is
baby.
way before Credit Karma. This is way before you could just like
Credit card.
get a sense of what it was. You had to get a letter in the mail to like. It wasn't until you got denied and then got that letter later.
Listen,
And they showed you what your credit
Yeah,
was.
you was like,
Why
oh,
you doing
okay.
the scariest thing was being married for 32 years now, being out here on my own, it was like you have rules and regulations, even as a rental. I learned that in the first apartment that I had a woman that was staying with me. She wasn't doing well, her health, and she ended up staying like almost a month. And then I found out the landlord or the property manager that was there, she goes, you can't do that. I said, what do you mean you can't do that? She goes, you can't have somebody living in your apartment. If it's more than 2 weeks, they're going to see them as somebody, as a rental, that you're taking in another boarder, and they're going to go up $100. I go, I pay my mind is my house, my rules. But rental isn't like that.
That's true.
So now I'm
They
like
will
getting
charge you
into
for
it
that.
with her, and it's like, you're not in fucking Kansas anymore, Anna Marie. So what you mean I can't, like, you're going to monitor everything that, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah, they have rules and regulations. If she lives here and gets a fucking letter sent here, and we try and evict her, she's legally now in, and I'm like, wow,
She's a squatter.
it's an ugly world out
They
here.
look at her.
Oh
as
yeah,
being a
tenants,
squatter.
they're well.
And then
versed
because
on
once
what
you
they
do squat, you have rights at that
Yep.
point.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
So
Right.
some people, I've seen stories where people like break into a house that's almost finished or whatever, and then pretend like, well, no, I've been paying rent or whatever, and they can't kick
Dude,
them out.
I can't believe somebody hasn't done one of those low grade comedies on something like that.
I think that only happens.
That would
with
be
white
like
people.
so
They
much
kick-
fun.
I'm sure they kick black people.
Oh, you better know
I
it.
saw a black lady holding
Drag
her
your ass
own.
out of there.
I wish I knew what show that was, but yeah, they couldn't kick her out.
Really?
Yeah, because and it was like, even if she forged the documents, she still could show the cop something. She was like, oh no, I signed this. But she said, and I believe that it could have happened, she signed the lease through, like, she found it through Craigslist.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw that there was actually someone renting out somebody's foreclosed. This actually happened in Florida a lot. These houses were left empty, and these people were actually renting these houses out on Craigslist. People didn't know, were renting in the house, and, it's like, this is the police, and you are in the legal, blah, blah, blah. Well, what happened to all the rent you paid? And they're like, you're out. You're not, it's not like we're going to give you 2 weeks to get out.
Well, this
You're
lady
out.
showed a paper, and they
Yeah,
couldn't
rented
do
on
anything
Craigslist.
with her. They couldn't kick her out, even with the owner there saying no.
She showed a paper or what?
Like, I signed a lease.
Oh wow.
I wish I'd have known that.
Smart.
I had a college roommate that
Even if
did
you
that.
Really?
make
Yeah,
it
he
yourself.
collected rent for almost 6 months, and come to find out he hadn't been paying it. And the thing about it, he was always on you about the rent too.
Hey.
Tim, man, I got to have that.
Yeah, let me
I
get
gotta get that.
and never paid it.
And there's a certain amount of fear. Like when I drive Lyft, so everybody that gets in my car, I'm like, so what do you do for work? Like, you have a job here? Like, I just want to know, what field do I want to go into? You making good money? Is that good? Is it a way to make a living here? And, like, I talk to most people. No, it's like one of 4 jobs that I'm working. Welcome
Right.
to L.A.
Yeah, that's
How
that
long you
feeling
been
you
here?
have.
A year and a half.
Okay.
Every time you see a big house, you're like, what do these people
Yeah,
do?
I did a
Right.
little clip on that. What the
Porn
fuck
stars,
do you people do
most
for a
of them.
living?
Yeah, especially when they're 19 years old.
Mm.
18, he's driving
Yeah.
Bentleys. I'm like, what the hell?
Well, the porn
Yeah.
industry's here, guys.
Music
people make
industry.
money off
A
of
lot
that.
of these
Goodness.
cats.
Well, the
need
guy
to make
that,
some
that
money.
lives next door of where I'm going to be moving into said that, most of the people that, they've, they're in the entertainment industry in some way. That's where the money is in this town. If you're not connected in the industry, and I'm like, I just rented this place. Don't freak me out. I go, yeah, well, these people got to eat. They need their furniture. They got to eat. They got to have shit done, and they got to be driven places. So I'm all over that. I am all over that. He goes, you do all those jobs? Yes. He goes, I like people who are willing to work. Then people are standing on the corner looking for handouts. That'll be my next job. I get some space between 2 and 3. Maybe I'll do that too. Okay? Come up with a clever little sign. And, I'm not really here for myself. Just please give so others can have. Maybe one of those signs.
Well, panhandling now is a profession.
Oh, for sure.
I was at IHOP, and there was this guy who was in a wheelchair. He was out there panhandling for money and meals. And when I got ready to leave, the guy had gotten up out the wheelchair. It was on his cell
yeah,
phone.
We see him, yeah.
Pack this stuff up.
Yeah, and he's
Push-
telling
pushing
him,
their
man,
own wheelchair.
I'll call you back when I get off work.
I'm getting Big Daddy special, man.
what he
Right?
said.
Oh, shit.
I've heard.
I swear to God. He said,
serious
when I
stories
get
about
off
that.
work.
And then you see him and they got the dog. And this lady was like, she's got the dog and she's like, and the dog's looking at me and she's
Oh, I've seen her.
like, give me a little chihuahua.
I've seen her.
Fuck.
I
Get your
know-
dog
I know
look
which
at me with
ones-
those eyes.
I know which ones are real
I saw
homeless
a
people.
couple
and which
working
ones are
that.
panhandlers.
Yeah,
You can
they're
tell.
a couple with 2 dogs.
Yeah.
Over here by LACC.
You know when
Right by
I
the
get mad?
interstate?
I get mad when I see the people out with their kids. I'm like, why would you? No, don't. This is a dangerous job to bring your kids to. Don't.
There
do
was a
that.
lady
That's for
begging.
that
I'm
sympathy.
staying in a hotel, and I want to say to her, "Do you guys get a script for this? I'm staying in a hotel. I have my children." And she was of no, and I ain't doing an accent because I don't know where she was from, but she wasn't from here. She wasn't from Boston, so it wasn't that kind of accent. But she's there with her daughters, and she's begging for money in Starbucks, and I'm like wondering, what residual damage is that to your kids? You know, I have great memories of mom taking me beg for money at Starbucks. what the fuck is wrong with people? You know, it just doesn't make any sense because they're gonna get the, the ooh factor. Oh, she's got kids.
You know, a friend and I were just talking.
You'll do better with the dog.
We were just talking tonight about how this city is such a hard place to like survive. Like you got to be a special breed to survive in LA. You know, you got to be a soldier. You got to be willing to grind it out. And a lot of people don't have it in them, so they just do whatever it's going to take to stay here. You know, whether that means panhandling or stripping or whatever it is you got to do.
Okay, well, I'm an hour past stripping and panhandling. I'm just laughing at myself as to have a whole different twist at that. If that was the case, it's like I would panhandle like nobody's business. I'd have a blast.
Hey
doing
man,
it.
I'll go get me a little Spider-Man costume and be right there on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah,
I
dude,
was, I was thinking about that. What
they
character
make
could I be?
Actually, I couldn't be Spider-Man, but they'd be so out of shape. But I give me a good character. I'm gonna perform at the end of the day, even if I'm the statue guy. I'm gonna give me a little money.
Yeah, right. Do a little maybe Michael Jackson imitation
Hell
or something like
yeah.
that. It's just you have to have that ingenuity. I mean, even to me, what you guys do is like braving it because you're comedians, and that's a whole nother. Like let's see, what can I pick that'll really be one of the most difficult things to go into, and comedians I think is one of the toughest because not only are you like saturated, okay, nobody wants to pay you. Nothing
You got
because
that right.
there's 20 people because most
You got
people are
that
up there
right.
just for the stage time. They're willing to go without being paid, which is great when you're doing open mics and what have you. But when you're opening for a night, in fact, didn't Scrunjo say that he did a BET when he talked about it on his show, and he figured $1,500. He got what 150. He said,
Yeah,
And
something like that.
yeah, $150. And for most people,
But the exposure though, because they'll play the hell out of it too. But
True.
yeah, you don't get anything residual, whatever. But if you're funny, your name will get out there.
right?
And it'll
They're
open
kind of
doors.
banking on that.
Hey,
You know,
I see cats same jokes 20 years ago, but hey, they made a name for themselves
Right.
early on.
Well, and that too, like that hustle. Even Kevin Hart, with all his successes out there hustling his book.
Oh, he
And
hustles
he's
more than
outside,
anybody.
and he that's his platform.
His
He
book,
really
his
talks
shoes,
about
his movies, his
he got
and
shoes?
tell Hollywood.
Right.
Yeah,
He
he got
got
a
shoes?
Nike deal. Yes, ma'am.
For kids or adults? What
no,
size
they're
are the
making the
shoes?
shoes. He's got that.
Just, are they adult shoes? Is what I want to know. Who can fit the
little
shoes?
baby shit.
The little baby shoes. Are they
Let's
walking
set
shoes?
up nice
What are they?
no, those are Kevin's
kids'
regular
lives,
size.
I need answers.
But
Yeah.
yeah, nobody banks like that boy.
But that's the world that we
like-
live in. You have to. I mean, because Taylor Swift was the same way. You and Jennifer Lopez. They get to a certain point and then they go, okay, let's go clothing, let's go
Your
jewelry,
brand.
let's go perfume. Your brand.
Many
Let's
things
just keep
compliment.
plowing it, right? And pretty soon, you're shaving your head and having a meltdown like Britney. But anyways, because she was one of the first to actually be successful at being so integrated as because she had her perfume line, all of that, and wasn't
MC Hammer.
I was gonna say I wouldn't say she's the first.
one of the first or no?
She's white, so maybe that's what you're thinking of. The first white person.
Oh,
to do
really?
it. Yeah, really.
Because who wasn't white that did it? Everybody?
MC Hammer. That's
Yeah.
was almost the fall of his
Oh.
career because he got
Marketed a
too
lot of stuff,
commercial.
I think.
Who did?
Cher.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Cher,
A lot
okay.
of
I
stuff.
stand
From the
corrected.
TV shows to all the. I mean,
They
think
had
about
dolls.
the Osmonds, the Jacksons. Like they all had merchandise.
I'm
so
thinking
what
of the
are
Jacksons.
we really talking about?
I was thinking of the Jacksons. Yeah, cartoons,
Cartoon, the
dolls.
lunch boxes, the dolls, all. Of it.
Okay. I mean,
The
I mean,
movies.
so we should be thinking about that, right? Just
You
Oh,
got to
yeah.
diversify
Oh, yeah.
for sure.
Every
well,
day I think
Hollywood will
about-
do that for you. Once you get popular enough, they'll come in and hey, just sign here. We'll take care of the rest.
all
Yep.
the merchandising.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
and make sure you got a good lawyer.
yeah. 'cause
Well,
they
yeah,
will give
I
you
hear a lot. That's one of the most
not even
important
cents
things.
on the dollar.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's well, a lot of people do. They get so excited, like, well, I got a contract.
Fraction
$1
of a
million.
fraction.
I'm going to make $1 million. No, I'm pretty sure if you've never seen $1 million at Squat, you can go through that, and it's L.A.
And,
Yeah, you won't see it all.
You know, with the advent of
Sam
the
will
internet,
get at least 35%.
yeah, and the you know way you can market yourself, it lends itself for you to develop a shell, you know, like a brand, even before you have the product that matches that brand.
Absolutely.
So you know, it kind of forces you to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
And this is the era of branding.
Yeah.
You know, everyone realizing, okay, I'm a brand. I can be a brand, you know, with Instagram and Facebook and
Just completely
YouTube, whatever.
self-managed. And I mean, that's what.
So, like the idea of designing something, getting a prototype, and you can get into that. And you're saying if you market
you
it
can
yourself,
white label everything. I mean,
get a distributor.
find
You
the
can actually
manufacturer.
Google just distributors. I learned that from Shang.
Yeah.
I mean,
Distribution.
I'm doing that to a certain extent.
Oh, you
know,
do?
I'm a relatively new comic, and I'm kind of a seasoned comic, so I don't have a lot of time, or as much time as a younger comic may have, to build that brand and develop, you know, excuse me, what you need to get there. So I kind of have to fast track everything.
Right. So
scared of you, mother.
Yeah. So
Bernie
you
Mac
know,
again.
I have a logo. I'm build. You know, I have a website. I'm building all of these things around. So, but the product is solid. I will say the product is solid.
What's the product? You the product.
Yes,
right?
I'm the product.
Yeah.
So I got a lifetime of that. So
What's your
You know.
point of view?
my point of view, I don't know if you can kind of define it. I'm kind of observationist. You know, I'm kind of like, in a sense, how we quickly judge each other. You know, where things aren't the way they seem. You know,
Such
I try
as?
to look at layers as, like, even for myself, a lot of people will see me and they'll immediately think,
Judge a book by the cover.
right. Like in my case, even in one of my bits, I talk about how people mistake me for security all the time.
Hey, you wearing all black though? You got on the uniform,
wait a minute.
my
Who
brother.
said
You
that
know,
about being mistaken
does
because they were
happen.
big for security all the
It happens
time?
all the time.
Yeah, can we hang out?
You know.
Because they'll think I'm somebody for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, and just you know, but you know, and even in my professional life, I was system administrator for a software developer. But people see me and they tend to think that
Yeah, right. Because that's the first thing I thought
it's
of.
something else, right?
He looks like a system developer software.
Yeah, right.
I'm telling you right now.
Oh,
I
I
can
get it all
just
the
see it
time.
in his
So I
eyes.
know how that is. You know how, you know, I'm perceived much differently than I probably am. You know, than what I know what I am, right?
Okay, so how long you been doing comedy?
They tell you to say 5 years, but I've been doing comedy now about 7 months.
That's
Really?
it.
Where do they tell you to say that? I never read that anywhere.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like when they say kind of things. You know how
Okay.
they.
Oh, okay.
Right. I want you to know that I'm gonna have a lot of inbox
That's what they
messages from my friends who've been out there going, "You had his ass on your show." I've been asking you, and I've been doing 7 months. You got that guy on your show.
But see, you know, but one thing I know, it doesn't matter if you've been 7 months, 7 years, or 70
Hey,
years.
are you
funny
funny?
is funny.
Yes,
Are you-
exactly.
Are you
Right.
kidding me?
We can get into that
I'm
conversation.
all about
Yeah.
that. I just like the fact you kept hustling and asking me if you could be on the show, send me inboxes and stuff like that. And there's a few comedians, you know, what's tough is that, you know, everybody sends me like, come to my show, and everybody's got shows. I can't tell you how many people have shows on the same night that it's like, shit, I wish I could go, like, just get a shuttle bus and go see everybody. But there's also the, you know, certain things that I would really love to go see. And now that I'm moving back to the valley, it brings me close. Like Burbank is Guam from here, and I live right up on top of the hill here. So now that I'm moving back the 15th to the valley, and there's a lot more access from that spot. Like if you wanted to go over the hill to the Sunset Boulevard, and you know, yet if I want to go out to Burbank, because usually comedians are always out. You guys are all night owls. You work all day just to get the pay to just be out and doing your thing.
Yeah. Well,
You know, hitting all the.
if you're a good comedian.
Well, yeah.
I'm a lazy comedian.
Yeah.
I'm in the bed by 10, 11.
No,
I'm kidding.
you.
I'm kidding.
But she
mean,
takes a hustler's perspective because she just started her own little comedy show. Not little, but like her own comedy show.
Black people always want the little on something.
That's why
No,
I had to
well,
retract
tell-
that.
I
was like,
appreciate you.
know
I
what?
appreciate
Tell us
you for
about
not
that.
Retract
disrespecting
that,
me.
and I retract that when they say, what's the bit? I've said it too. Oh, aspiring. Well, I'm not
Aspiring.
aspiring.
Yeah.
I'm this. You don't
Yeah,
say
what is
aspiring
that?
to a
Walk in
janitor.
it, right?
What'd
Got
you
to
say?
walk in it.
You gotta walk in.
Yeah.
You gotta walk in it.
right.
So yeah, I started this show. It's like speakeasy comedy, and when I say speakeasy, you know, you gotta have a passwords to get in. No, it's
I
a
like
private.
that.
It's a private show. It's invite only. It's in a very small room in North Hollywood, and I provide food and wine, which you don't typically get when you go to a comedy show because it's usually a 2-item minimum. So when you invite people out, they don't really want to come because they got to pay to get in. They got to pay for parking. They got to pay buy 2 items.
Right.
And they got to tip the server. So I just really wanted to provide a night where you don't have to come out of your pocket. You can come and get good laughs. It also gives the comedians an opportunity, get up, work on material, record your set if you want to. Us come together, network, and feed off all that good energy. And hopefully, a lot of greatness will be produced from that room. So I call it Magic Comedy. It's magic because the magic. Has anyone ever been to the Magic Castle?
Yes.
You gotta have like a membership, right?
I don't know about now. Back
Yeah.
then,
Say
it
yes
wasn't
because
required.
that's why I got
You
my
just
name.
gotta look
That's where I
like
got the name
security.
from.
Yeah, I
So-
get in anywhere free. I just walk in. And,
Right, I believe
My
it.
shit's about to start.
I
Oh, go ahead,
believe
go ahead.
it.
So how would I get on this magic?
I have to invite you.
Right.
So just wait for the invitation.
Just wait for the invitation.
Yep.
Okay.
That's a very LA statement.
Wait,
It's
no.
so LA.
Okay,
Call
you can give it
So
to me
LA.
over lunch. We'll meet. We'll
We'll
do
talk
lunch.
after the show.
We'll talk after the show.
Yeah,
okay.
because if I tell you all the information now, then
That'll
it's
be
no
all
longer,
broadcasted.
It's no longer.
Yeah, we
speakeasy.
can't.
It's no longer magic.
But I'm
It's-
really looking forward to that because, I will have my own kitchen again. I love to cook, so that's one of the things. Like a few of the comics have made. Well, you don't got nothing. I got water and fucking coffee. Enjoy yourself. And every now and then, Lee brings in donuts. And tonight it was cupcakes from this one. And the idea of actually making something because usually people are hungry. I've never known people to come on the show that aren't looking. They're willing to have something to eat. So I'm
They
looking
don't
forward
call
to
us
that.
starving artists for nothing.
I know, right? They'll be coming in saying, "Yeah, man, she cook. You got your saran wrap baggie, and yeah." Because to me, that's like the greatest to go ever. I used to watch my friend's aunt at the buffets, and she'd take out her Glad little Ziploc baggies,
Oh yeah.
and she'd be over there.
Oh yeah. You gotta be
getting
smart
that.
with it.
You gotta be smart with that shit.
Get
Right?
my money's worth. Yeah, I remember I took a road trip with my homeboys, a college trip. Yeah, we loaded up. It lasted us that whole weekend.
That's the way to go. And you
The
gotta eat
chicken
this.
wings
Yeah,
last.
we're working on the slide.
Cold or
Yeah.
hot, they're good.
I love me a cold chicken wing.
Cold chicken wing,
Wake up
cold
the next
True that,
pizza,
man.
certain
Oh,
stuff that's
man.
like
Cold pizza,
hey,
cold chicken
no
wing.
problem.
Yeah, there was a friend of mine who was walking out of the hotel looking.
Yeah.
Have you ever walked out of the hotel and see people that left their food from the night before untouched, like outside the door? Has it ever crossed your mind? Maybe I'll just take a piece of that. No one will.
No.
No one will.
Not
Oh yeah,
from a
he's like,
day
has
after,
it?
but-
Be honest, has it ever crossed your mind? I started laughing. I go, well, there was this one time they had chocolates because that's legit. It was chocolate there.
It's wrapped up, sure,
Was it-
sure.
All right.
Women, we don't have rules about chocolate. Now I will eat somebody else's.
somebody
chocolate.
else's chocolate.
The worst
wrap-
thing though is, have you ever been so broke you get mad at a kid because they wasting the food? I remember being like in a McDonald's or something, and the kid like took a bite, and then I was like, man, I was so hungry and so broke.
You gonna finish that?
I know a
upset with
friend
this
that would have
kid.
walked over and asked for the rest of that.
Man,
Mm-hmm.
now
is
that's
pretty gross.
just way, yeah, that's
I don't
doing
think
way
I've ever
too
done
much.
that.
I've seen
Well,
her do
I
it.
mean, that was
Never done that.
that
either.
was the guys we had in my mother's restaurant when you came through one of the dining room doors. As you open it, where you put the dishes down, and then they'd scrape and do whatever have you, and they would just chow. They'd be eating shrimp. Shrimp was not going in. You shitting me? $15 shrimp. These guys were like chowing on the lobster chow. And my mother would have a fit because if the door was
Especially,
open
yeah,
and
it's untouched.
a customer would looked in to that area and seen some guy chowing off the plate. She's like, I'm not running a food kitchen.
Yeah,
here,
where did you bring us, Harold?
Yeah, we don't have garbage disposals. We have people. We pick them up off the street. If you're eating tonight, we got a job for you. An all-you-can-eat buffet.
It's rough.
Backwards.
It can be rough out there.
Yeah, it can be pretty rough out there. And that's
Survival
another
of the
thing.
fittest.
Do you eat at buffets?
Not anymore, but that was
Now,
a time.
have you
It's been a
also?
while. I have, but it's been a while.
Do you
There's a
has-
nice one right on Hollywood Boulevard. I don't know the name of it. Yeah, right by formerly the Chinese Theater.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the
yeah.
dim sum buffet
I guess.
with the Turkish,
don't
like
ask me the name.
really cool. Yeah, right. But
It was like $40. I'm like, you
well,
gotta go lunchtime
LA
and be
probably
ready.
does very high end. Florida, as you know, you were from Florida, has a whole nother. It has a whole nother
Sizzler.
terminology to buffet. Where you go in and it's like, I remember getting the soup and getting the ladle out of one place, and when I pulled up the soup, the can cover was the bottom.
Shut
I was
up.
like, I swear to God. I mean, it was like, yeah, this has got to be really good stuff. Yeah, the can cover.
Well,
It's
me and
like-
my roommate just talked about this because we were in Burbank and there's a hometown buffet over there.
Okay.
And as kids, you love going to the buffet because you just get to pile all
So
the
much
bread
selection.
and ice cream and you
Right.
just keep going back up and wasting food. But now it's like now
With
that
Rocky
you're in the-
staring at you in the corner being mad.
Not at the buffet. I'm chowing down.
Yeah, now it's like you don't want to eat all that food. You know it's not good for you and it's a waste of money. But there are
Well,
a
for
couple
the
of good
first
buffets
time,
in LA though. Like
the-
Cravings.
right.
Cravings is great. It's like a Brazilian little like brunch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my guy
Okay,
just
so-
took me there. That was nice.
so that would be
With all the
really
meat,
cool.
they
There's
bring it
also
around.
Soup Plantation with all the meat. Yep.
Now, let me ask you about doing comedy in restaurants, because that's another thing I see popping up. Where there's a comedian, and I'm eating my dinner, and there's a comedian standing, and I mean, some of them are like placed right in front of the people eating. I'm like,
Where you?
really? No, actually,
They're not supposed to be there at the In and Out. But you getting the number two? Oh, let me tell you that. It make me do the number two. Who are you, sir?
Yeah, maybe stand near the drive-through window with the guy taking orders.
That's not bad. You
Standing
can't,
next to him
you
with the
can't get up.
microphone.
Just,
That's
Hey,
it.
where
right.
you from? Where you
Create
from?
your
Like, where
space.
you from? I like that. We might start a whole new thing.
Hey, just bring your own, because people have
Fast
those
food
little
funnies.
karaoke, little rolling wheel, little things. You can just say, set up shop wherever you at.
Listen, we're out in LA, right? And they have Lyft, right?
Yes.
So what if we just had this company,
Pop up.
like what's his name, Comedians in Cars, where
Jerry Seinfeld,
yeah,
yeah.
that you're gonna get like a comedian car ride or people that because tourists are really fascinated with shit that is kind of geeky like that. I mean, let's get on a bus and go look at people's houses that we can never live in just because we can drive by it. It's stupid, but people really really love doing that. So. Get picked up by a comedian, get picked up by a glamour model, somebody, or like lookalikes. So you'd have like
there's your hustle right there, Anna Marie.
a package.
Stop telling people.
Stop telling. My girlfriend's like,
And I'm sitting up here like, dang, I had an idea.
That's
Simulated
it right
that
there.
a minute ago.
Shut your mouth, girl, and get it started.
I'll get it on the
Don't
ground
talk about
floor.
it. Be about
Be
it.
about it. No, for real, because people in LA will steal your idea. Next thing you know, that company exists next week.
right.
That's real.
Comedy
And
tourism.
that's a great
Starting it
idea.
Right now.
That's a great. I would join the company and do
Join
a
the
couple
company?
rides. I do a couple rides.
Oh, yeah.
To see what you need to get in on that. The hot shit hustle.
Yeah, you got a captive audience.
HHH. Welcome to the hot
Yeah.
shit hustle. We'll get you
Now-
there.
and now you just can't leave.
Yeah. Right.
I'm waiting to get picked up by a hooker.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, so see, you
Wait a
go-
minute.
Driver.
Hooker driver.
So you got a hooker,
Hook this left
stripper,
hooker.
okay, comedians.
Man, it'd be hard trying to wiggle around that pole in the car, though. You know what I'm saying?
I'll do the best I can.
Yeah. Open the moonroof. She's going on the pole.
you can come and go at the same time.
Oh, bada boom. Yeah, that'd be really, really, really cool. So somewhere there's got to be invested. Well, we'd have to get a limousine to do this. So
Okay, you want it to be like a group,
So-
like a group thing.
So yeah, so if you actually got, because
Yeah, you
people
just
are
need
bored
one of
with a
those
lot of the
vans.
shit that's out there, and let's say we got some limos, we got invested to get us a limos, and then we have it like almost like you're being entertained by comedians and stuff inside the limo. You have food, you got service, you don't have to worry about getting too drunk anyway. And where they're going to be the opening act, because now I'm going to take you to a bunch of comedy clubs. And inside the limo, you've been warmed up. You're laughing it up. You got your shit face on, and now you're gonna dump. We could see. That's my idea. Nobody's doing these.
You
things.
could do it like a party bus because I think
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, because especially if there's going to be alcohol. I don't know what the law is about alcohol, but see, we got to stop talking about this business
Right.
in front of everybody.
Well,
That's
see-
like I don't
company.
know what happened to rent this RV. Somebody wanted 80 of them. Yeah, we'll only rent them on Friday and Saturday night. We'll do.
Still
Yeah.
Still talking. Go ahead, build the business plan for someone else, Anne Marie.
So we can
That's
incorporate
smart.
the whole magic thing where it's only announced like that week of. All right, I like that.
Well, it really would.
It took him a
It really
minute to
cracks
find
me
it.
up. It really cracks me up because what better place than to enlighten people than in fucking traffic in LA? Because a lot of people don't really think it's that funny, and if you don't have to deal with it, it's like amazing to me. The fact that I don't have to do this ride anymore on the 405. I don't know how
I hate
people.
the 405.
The slow 05.
The slow 05, the no 05 is it's
Because whoever thought of that? Okay,
Hell.
let's make it bigger so we can just have a bigger traffic jam.
yeah.
Because like
It
that
ain't
worked out
working.
well.
It ain't working.
No, it ain't working. So let's really traumatize people. And but the fact that there hasn't been more road rage and all of that is that because pot's legal and everybody's just chilling and stoned out on the highway,
Pretty much.
and they'd be driving that fast anyways because they're all fucked up and stoned. Man, I
Pretty
was
much.
flying down the 405. No, you weren't. You were going like 20. No, man, I could have swore you just stoned.
And then you have, the cell phones. I mean, I binge watched Breaking Bad on my commute back and forth.
Oh wow.
I've done it on road trips. We
Binge
knocked
watch
out.
Breaking
No,
Bad
get-
on the
right.
405.
Yeah, on the
We knocked out
405.
Big Bang Theory.
I get a motorcycle sandwich
Yeah.
courier.
Especially with like no commercials. Heck yeah, boy.
And we'll get the motorcycle sandwich courier service to drive through traffic when you're sitting there for like fucking 100 hours. You're getting hungry. You're never going to get home in time for dinner. And I pull up beside you. Hey, buddy, I got sandwiches. How long you been sitting here? $2. Yeah, because they can go right between
Man, I'm
everybody.
about to give away one of my business ideas.
I'm about to
I was
right,
was
free
like
business.
thinking, man, if I could get one of them little scooters with the little ice cream thing on the back, like, oh man, I'll stop in the summertime. Or whatever the music is.
Here he come. Here he come. He's the ice cream man. Where you
Frozen
going?
freeway
Ice
pop.
cream.
That's pretty smart though.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's really smart.
Because
You- you
in
make
every
it
black
work for
neighborhood,
you.
there was always a frozen cup lady house. And
Frozen
you
Cup
was
lady
big
house?
time. Yeah, you was big time.
No,
And
y'all
she
just
put
had that
like
in
fruit
Florida.
at the bottom. You never had the frozen cup lady or the candy lady?
You go to her house?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Either
Where was
candy
this?
lady,
What- I
frozen
missed
cup
out on
lady,
In the
or she
hood.
might have also had
Yeah. Nah.
some
grew
of
up
them
in
was
the hood.
selling candy and sodas and all the other little stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but I when I was growing up, the ice cream man and the bus drivers were always old hippies smoking dope. that got these gigs, and as kids, I grew up in a neighborhood where parents really didn't give a shit. My generation didn't give a shit
Hey,
what you were
go
doing.
outside, yeah.
Go outside. Talking to don't talk to strangers. What the fuck does that? That covers just about what? Who? So
And you could ride
they
your
gave you
bike
your
everywhere,
criteria, huh?
You could ride your bike everywhere. Now
Everywhere.
They don't want you to leave the yard and stuff.
Yeah.
When, I was,
baby these
when I was a
kids.
sophomore in high school, man, a friend of mine had an ice cream truck. He was a sophomore in high school and he had an ice cream truck.
Hustler, man.
Where are you from?
That's good
LA,
business.
born and raised.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You're a unicorn.
Did he use the bank?
No, he's so dope though.
Of course.
That was always going on.
He had
Man,
that kind
you had it
of
all
ice cream
made
truck.
because not only did you sell the weed, they be coming back at you later. Man, you got some of them Eclair bars? I need me a strawberry shortcake. I love that.
I'll be here after you smoke that.
That's it.
Push pop.
That push pop. What was your favorite? Okay, what was it like?
Push pop, what I
Push
just
pop.
said, uh-huh.
Okay, and
Got them
Push it
pops.
for flavor. Push it for fun. What? Huh? What?
like what was your favorite ice cream as far as the ice cream truck?
Probably in like a Nutty Buddy.
Nutty Buddy.
Yeah.
And
Was the Nutty Buddy like the drumstick?
It was a cone with the little ice
Oh,
cream
yeah.
with the
Uh-huh.
my favorite was a bomb pop.
chocolate.
You like the bomb pop?
Bomb pop. Yeah,
Bomb
I'm
Pops are
I'm a
good.
huge
Bomb Pops are
popsicle
good.
fan. Or ices. The,
Oh, I love
the
ices.
Italian ice cups.
Orange one with the white ice cream in the middle.
Creamsicle.
Oh yeah, the creamsicle.
50-50 bars.
Oh yeah.
You had 50-50 bars?
Nice ice cream sandwich too, but
Yeah,
you
I
get
think
that
that was
from the store.
50-50 bars too.
Yeah, because you're right about the LA hustle, and it's just what like I'm looking at really trying to do 4 jobs. So you're lucky you have a job. I mean that's really like it affords you to be able to do comedy in a way that a lot of comedians can't.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
Let's
it.
talk about the LA hustle. Let's talk about all the different jobs or hustles maybe that we've had or that this is always a good conversation mainly because I'm just trying to figure out how to pay my bills. But you have to have a lot of different hustles out here. When I first got here, I got a job as a teacher. And when I first got here, I was like, oh, I'm going to make it next week. I'm going to be a star. That didn't happen. So I got a job as a teacher because I have a background, a degree in teaching or whatever. And so I taught at this charter school in Granada Hills where the kids were on the fast track to being bums. And so it was a lot of work, and I had quit a couple of years ago to be a full-time actress and comedian. That being said, I don't know when I'm going to get a check, and so I have to have like multiple side hustles, like multiple in order to survive. So for me, I've done the same thing you do. I do Lyft, Postmates, Uber.
Do you braid? That's
I
usually
don't know
a
how to
standard black
braid.
girl
I don't know how to
hustle.
braid. I tell people I'm a life coach, which is funny because my life's not all the way together. But you know,
I'm
people
gonna
pay
teach you what not to do.
people pay you to tell them.
But shout out to LJ Brown. She just got booked a few commercials though.
Yeah,
I
that's a big
appreciate
deal.
You know, God is good. God is good. People
All the time.
People. I'm from Ohio, so people see the commercials and they're like thinking I made it, and they're so happy, and I'm like, listen.
That's the glory of LA.
I love when they see you in pictures with celebrities and be like, "Oh my god!" You
Right,
know,
right.
when really the truth of the matter was like, "Oh, can I get a picture real quick?" Oh, thank you. Like I don't know
Hey,
these
you're giving
people.
away all my secrets, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
But
crazy.
you know, it's also important. You know, it's really a trip because it's also important for you to be seen with people. Like
It's so important, and I'm not even that guy. Like I'm never starstruck.
right.
But now that Michael's dead, like ain't nobody gonna starstruck me. But like I know getting this picture is gonna mean something to everybody else. Like not me so much, but everybody else.
Well,
Exactly,
it's hard
exactly.
because I work up at Skirball, and there's like Angelica Houston emceed the gig that I was working, and I just stood there like, everybody else could care less, and I'm
Don't
the kid
know.
standing in front of the
Angelica
stage.
Houston?
Angelica, what I say?
Google, Siri.
I
Yeah.
don't know who she is.
Angelica Houston?
She's like
We're under 50,
huge.
sorry.
Yeah, it's
Apparently,
all right.
she's not that huge.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, just give us some context
Addams
clues.
Adam's Family. Which girl?
She played the mom.
She played the mother.
I think she was
alright,
also.
okay.
Wasn't she in that witch movie with the Witches of Eastwick?
That I do not know.
Right, she was in with Nicole Kidman.
Let's
she was
refer to
also
the
was she
IMDb
married
page.
or she was girlfriend of Jack Nicholson forever? They were together. You know who Jack Nicholson is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
So
do.
like that's
he
that
really
same-
is huge.
That no, Angelica Houston. Trust me, if you Google her, you're going to be like, no, she really was huge. Anna Marie wasn't lying. But
Oh,
you
you
know,
say, oh, I've seen her. Oh, I know.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
just-
She's
we don't know her by name. We know her by face.
Yeah.
that wasn't it. No, she wasn't. Okay, what else was she in? I'm so glad we brought you. No. Okay, she wasn't in that.
We got
All
our
right.
fact checker in the back.
Yeah, what her movies were.
They can tell you what they're not in. I don't know what she was in, but I she wasn't in that one.
Here we go. The digital age people.
Cher.
Okay, Google.
No,
Jessica,
was it Cher?
Angelica Houston.
I love that he knows that.
Angelica Houston.
I love that he knows. But you're not supposed to acknowledge.
Oh yeah, she played like the mean school principal something or whatever in something.
She never been in a movie that big.
Yeah, she's been in a lot of movies, man.
Yeah, she been in a lot of movies, but that was a big movie.
No, she's quite.
So you met her, and what happened?
You can't
No,
acknowledge. You
in the
can't
movie.
like. Do you know how bad I
Just
want to say?
staring.
Please take a picture with me.
What's the beef with Jack Nichols, Michelle Pfeiffer, Cher, and what's the chick with the red hair?
Nicole Kidman.
No, I wasn't her neither. You had two wrong. Out of
Well, did you bring somebody to my show to harass
Good
me?
score.
Because I got Rocky for that shit.
Give
you know,
that brother a microphone.
give him up on a microphone.
You know,
Yeah, you.
I don't necessarily believe
She
in.
was in
A lot of movies.
Oh,
I
sure.
don't-
Let
a
us
lot
know
of
when you
movies
get
I
it.
don't know that well, but yeah,
big.
Adam's Family, The Witches,
Not Gina Davis.
I can't think of the third person.
The Royal Tenenbaums, The Grifters, Life Aquatica.
She's been in a bunch of movies.
Yeah,
So I feel like
and I'm just saying
Daddy
that.
Daycare.
I feel like you shouldn't ask celebrities for a picture or be starstruck because they're just regular people. You know.
They
what I
are,
mean?
but
And
like he said, it's good to have.
Listen, I don't mind
I
my
don't
fans
believe in
asking
it.
me for a picture.
I don't believe in it because I feel like we're on the like I may not be where they are in my career, but I'm just as much of a star as they are.
That's I agree with you.
Of course.
And so like I also don't believe in
I still get the
idolatry
picture,
at all.
though.
So even me being in this career that I'm in, I don't want the fame at all. I just think it's ridiculous.
drives you
I think it's
crazy.
ridiculous
Did you hear
people
that
are
thing?
idolized?
That Jim Carrey said that he everybody should be allowed to be famous and rich, so that they can see that happiness won't be given to you by either of those things. And then if they had all of that,
Great quote.
then maybe they would understand it has to come from within. And I really do believe that because one of the examples, I used to joke and say, at my mother's restaurant, we dealt with a very high-end clientele, and they were these people, third generation. Their grandparents had money, parents built it up, they handed it to their children, never had to work a day in their life. There was a young woman last night at a party that was talking about this. Children, she works in a rehab, and she very, very high and very wealthy, very famous. These kids that come from that, and they've never wanted for nothing, and they're empty. And she said they don't know how to fill it because they don't understand what it is to they never have to worry about achievement. They never have to thrive at anything because, everything is handed to them. I mean, they get, there was a comedian that said that if you got a Porsche, is it C.K. Lewis?
Louis C.K.
Louis C.K. See, I told you I'm terrible, retarded with names. And he said that anyone who got a Porsche at 17 is a dick. They grow up to be assholes. Rich people, and like I was saying, he was talking to Jay Leno, and he said because they never know what it's like. They can't relate. And just going through all this, and I was like,
save up to get the car.
Right. And it's like, what I can't wrap my head around because the guy that I'm renting the house from, this man was just filthy rich. And yet he still squandered me for some extra money, which is like, it blows my mind.
Cheap as shit,
it just blows my mind. But the good that, he's like, I have a car museum. I got all these cars out front. I got a house in France. I got a house. And my mind goes, how much do you fucking need? How do we not, as people, it's like, how much do you need?
President Trump.
Yeah, well, there you go, 45.
Oh, you respect him, huh? You call him President Trump.
That's like, see that?
Rocky respects
Rocky's
the man.
trying to play to anybody he can. He's like getting it down. I don't want to piss any. Right now, Shane just called you a name somewhere.
All respect to Jim Carrey, but it's kind of easy to say that when you're rich and famous.
Well, because he didn't come from that.
No, he didn't come
No,
from money,
I know it, but it's just like
that doesn't count.
But he's certainly a testament to like believing in yourself because he said he wrote himself like $1 million check or whatever, and actually made enough to like actually cash that check. So
yeah, after
he gave
saw
a
that, I wrote
commencement
myself.
speech.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I'm still looking at mine every day.
It sounds good. I mean, it's true because he said it.
I'm still looking at some checks that
right,
bounced that I had wrote already, but
You can't have that. I mean, what you're going to say is the fame is just going to come with it. And like someone said that, it was like, if you were famous, I'd freak people out. I'd be walking right up to him. Like if a bum was going to come up and ask me for 25 cents, I saw him coming at me. I'd be like, hey, dude, you get $1? I could use, you don't have any money? I'm sorry. I just thought maybe you did. And so if I was famous, I'd be running up to people going, oh my God, I can't believe it's you. We can have a picture taken together.
I love that.
Yeah. And just like, because people they wouldn't know what to do with that.
Right.
And people don't know what to do.
For me, I don't believe in, I don't want the fame because like I said, I don't believe in idolatry. And also I just like, I like being a normal person and being able to, do normal things without being.
Yeah, that's what bothered Dave Chappelle so much
stuff.
because he was like, he was such a people person. But after that, like that big fame after the show really hit, he could no longer interact with people the same way because it elevated him to a whole nother
level.
Yeah, so he had
messes
to
me
like avoid people. And then, because you don't want to get so famous to where you become, just closed off.
By mixed, I'm saying black and white or black and something else. The black takes over. Even being a biology major, I know that the black takes over thinking about the biology of it, the Punnett square, the DNA.
Back in the days,
one drop of blood.
Black and you were black.
You're black.
Yeah, the drop in the bucket. The drop in the bucket theory.
I don't try to take over your show, but that Tiger Woods, that's all propaganda game. But Mel Gibson said all that shit, and it wasn't videotaped.
Oh, but
Tiger Woods says this, and they keep him on camera for an hour and 70 minutes. That's just to make him look bad.
Oh yeah.
And they would have.
He would have been already in the car, the whole thing. Yeah.
Game.
Yeah.
That was all game to make him look bad.
And why is the police dashboard cam getting out that quickly?
In 3 seconds, you see this dude is not coherent. Let me put some handcuffs.
Man, I didn't see this video. Is this up on YouTube?
It is.
Fucking hour, and now that's what you're supposed to do. Come on, stop. Mel Gibson cussed everybody on the planet out.
Now,
no one's seen the video.
Now wait, I'm gonna. Yeah, man.
Take him down.
But yeah, and like, of course, then there were people making fun of his hair. And then you had, because,
But he was out of it, though. He was trying to tie his shoe on the hood of the cop car. Like, really?
He was out of it? You think that's brand new?
Wow.
A bunch of celebrities were
But
out
look,
of it.
I don't care how drunk I might be.
Well, there was a thing saying that because of the medications, he has a lot of medications because of his arthritis and all of that, the combination of the medications that he was on, like in his defense.
Oh, I'm sure he's torn his back up and his knees.
Yeah. So they said that a lot of that, sometimes it can react, people, like I said, again, people want to it never ceases. It's frightening. It's like I would even say, oh, you want to be famous? And if people everybody that in your life that knows anything, what they could step forward and say what to
And
who.
God forbid
And
you
get
get a
paid for it.
catchphrase because they'll never let you like. And that was
Right.
the same thing with Chappelle. He was like, I'm Rick James. Like everywhere
Yeah,
he
that
was.
was
Yeah.
that was
But
like way
think
to
about
be,
Art-
right?
Like
Right,
think
right.
about who? Not Emmanuel Lewis, but who is your Arnold?
Oh,
Gary Coleman.
yeah.
Right.
Just always you
For
can't
his
even
life.
just-
What you talking about, Willis?
and
Yeah.
it could be years.
Kid
later.
Dynamite, what's his name?
JJ.
JJ Walker. And that's the other side of that. And to bring that, as long as we got the heat turned up on that, fucking Bill Maher. What are you thinking?
Oh man,
Wasn't that what was
I
weird
think
about
that's too
read
mu-
it. I
I
read
think
it.
that's too much
Unbelievable.
hanging out with black comics.
Wait, wait, because I
Unbelievable.
want you to know we had that exact conversation because those were the words.
I want to believe you,
right
Anna
now,
Marie.
I wanna believe
right
you.
now, no, because and let me tell you why that is because I grew up in a household where I was a kid that I clashed with my mom big time, and my mother's Midwestern, her dad, Miles City, Montana. There were no black people in Miles City, Montana. So already I'm going to deal with the fact that my mother, who will say she's not racist and whatever, she's just been raised in a generation where you're okay, you're a good friend, you're a very nice black boy, but they don't. The idea of you
Don't bring him
marrying or
home.
coming home and all of that. I mean, we used to joke about that because the guys that I work with was like, so what is it, your mama don't like black men? I go, well, when you drive by the house, she'll be the woman on the sheet with the cross burning out front. But yeah, feel free to come in. But having that kind of stuff, seriously, to grow up
Yeah,
with,
I'm
I
fine
was
with that
very
one sound
defiant because I'm an artist. Most of my friends were always multiracial because, I like the more extreme people were, the more I would gravitate towards them. So we had a lot of conflict with that. So because that word was always used as such a derogatory, hateful, I've never heard a white person use it well, ever. It's never sounded right that I just refuse. I out and out have refused to lower myself to that because it's to me one of the most degrading terms that you could call another human being because of the true meaning behind it.
Right.
And that's something that has been even more emphasized being out here. It's just not funny. In fact, I was just telling him about a skit, and I said, did you see the skit about diddle and had the word in it? And Rocky goes, don't ever say that phrase again. And I'm like, no, I'm not saying
not
that.
in my company.
But it's like one of those things that, like I said, it will never sound right.
Well, I appreciate your stance on that, and I respect you for
We
it.
all concur.
I have a question.
Yes,
Being a person who's never used the word, and because you hate the
I don't like the
implications, everything behind it, how do you feel when you hear black people use it? Especially
Heavily.
comics. Very heavily.
very heavily. I don't understand it. I think Maya Angelou made a statement on that. I went and
now,
saw
Maya
her.
Angelou, now where can I find her work?
Yeah, Maya Angelou.
Oh, Maya Angelou.
Oh yeah, I said it
Uh-huh.
wrong again. Okay, I'm gonna get this right. This is gonna be. Listen, if what Noam Crosby could make a living doing that with sentences, he always mixed them up. So I'm gonna be known as a radio announcer who couldn't fucking say a name right if her life depended on it. But that whole thing, which the disrespect, and she said that why we as a people are using that word to disrespect ourselves. It is a disrespect, and she in fact was it Tupac? They in the
Okay.
thing.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, what?
If you mess up another Tupac, come on,
Yeah.
Anna Marie. Tupac?
Pac.
Tupac?
Tupac.
Listen, I couldn't even get the place I was eating at today straight. What did they call it?
The Piggly Wiggly.
What they call
No, it wasn't a
What
Piggly
they call
Wiggly. It was a pronunciation. And the lady.
Please tell me what you
wait.
ate today.
Camille took me to. No, I thought it was faux. It's fa.
Pho.
Right.
Pho.
But I didn't know that. So
Oh,
I'm
well,
like,
that's understandable.
no, it wouldn't matter what it was. So it's like I can't get anything right. So I'm getting there.
Tupac. That was
That's
it
a
right
B
there.
in me. That's a Boston. You shithead. Yeah, right?
Who else talking about
Wait a minute,
Tupac?
but she's a teacher, so maybe there's hope. I'll hang out with her and get it all corrected. She's going to give me detention by the end of the show.
Oh, yeah, you already got detention.
Teacher, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, she was. I mean, taking that. But as comedians, I mean, you hear that like there was a comedian that was talking saying that he wanted to use the term less and less to incorporate it.
Even Richard Pryor,
it-
there was a time when he gave it up.
But the funny thing about it, I only really notice it and feel offended if it's used amongst when white people are there.
I'm with you.
If I'm just in
But
an
if
all
it's
black
gratuitous,
environment,
that
I don't
bothers me
even
too.
notice it probably.
Yeah,
I hate it in mixed company for sure.
me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
So you feel the same way. I mean, what do you think?
I used to get shot at and called at when I was a child
Oh,
growing up in the South. I don't want to use it. I don't use it, and I don't want anybody else to use it.
But
It's wrong.
so when comedians use that,
In it at all.
Hmm?
Ever.
Yeah.
No condition.
exactly.
No, I don't.
Because you in
I don't use
a
it.
jail with all black folks, it ain't cool.
I agree.
Put yourself down.
We, that old thing about that mutual respect of a fellow human being. Oh, there's a concept, and it's just like when you're sitting there, and as I said, yes, being a white person listening to the references in comedians about white people this, and then it's black people this, and then I mean that's a lot of the night. Now you white folk up front, and like I'm like, okay, there's certain things as a white person I'll hear comedians say that I say, well, a white person got up there and went after and said though you can't do that, and it's like, but it's like
Louis C.K. pushes that envelope quite
does
often.
he really? Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
he gets away with it though. I understand where you're going with this.
Right. So I mean, it's like I don't ever want to. And
Bill
I'm
Burr.
sure you've met people who are white that think it's like they're being hey homie, hey my and whatever, and it's like no, don't because you see the attitude where everybody has that moment, just like Bill Maher
Giving a pass. Yeah, no.
thinking that he was
check
comfortable doing that. We get 2 minutes.
I appreciate. Tell me your name again. I'm so sorry.
Lee Michaels.
Lee. I appreciate what you said about your being raised in the South and being shot at and called the N-word, and none of us should use it anymore. Because I know I'm guilty, and I've used it less and less as I get older, and I begin to talk to elders like Lee and know where it comes from, and I know that.
Prematurely gray and bald, not old.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, what I'd like you to do, if you want to promote anything you're doing where you are, both of you, there's 2 minutes left in the show. A minute, please do. It's about you.
Well, you guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff at Funny Miss Brown, and my website is LJ Brown. It's spelled phonetically ELJAE Brown.
So even Anna Marie can say it.
I did just get a call last week about a film that I'm doing. I can't really talk about it right now, but if you follow me, you'll find out later.
And she's an awesome comedian. I've had the privilege of seeing this woman work. Awesome comedian.
Thank you, Anna Marie.
Yes.
I hope she gets that helicopter real soon.
Yes,
That's right.
yes.
She gonna come give us a ride. And you, sir?
Friday night I'll be performing at the Comedy Store, Hollywood.
Yay.
Which
at
room?
9:45 on the Shindig Show. It's always a great show. We have all kind of celebrity drop-ins. Last week we had Kevin Nealon and Kurt Fox and a whole bunch.
Hey,
of
not too shabby, Mister. Would you say 7-monther?
Yeah. Oh,
No, he said
years.
5
5
the
years.
previous show.
And you're coming in too.
We were on. Bo,
Yeah,
Big
give
Bo
him a
Hawkins.
punch.
He's going to be
I
on. He's going to be on the
appreciate
show
you
as
showing
well.
Which
we'll
room
get
is that?
you in the chair.
And that's the Shindig.
Huh?
Last week we had another show with Margaret Cho and Ant and Rocco and Bill Burr dropped in. I came out. As a matter of fact, I followed Margaret Cho in that show. Second time in 2 months.
That's so awesome. I'm so glad. That really is. It's good to hear that, you're doing what you're doing, and especially where you just jumped right in and, man, you're going with the flow. I love stories like that. Because it's
Well,
something that...
when you take it serious, just go all in. That's
Right.
all it takes.
And I know the world
gotta
would be a
work
real shitty place. It would just suck without comedians.
Yeah.
And I want to add one more thing. Bo Hawkins and I, we have our own show.
Big Bad Bo.
Big Bad
Big
Bo.
Bad Bo.
And I'd like
Where
to
is
invite
it?
all you comics here.
Thank you for that.
And,
Yeah, man.
It's at the LA Lounge. It's our next one's going to be at 6:15, 15th of June. It's in Inglewood. It's on Manchester and Fifth Avenue. You can look me up on Facebook under Daryl K-Mac, K-A-M-A-C-K, and Instagram as well.
Are you
And
going to
we-
be our security?
But your Instagram private, I was like, what kind of comedian?
Is it?
When I sent it.
I don't know much about Instagram. I just started using
We'll
that.
get you straight, man. We'll get you
Figure it out.
straight.
Can we help me
Figure it
fix that?
I want to
Private,
thank
really?
everybody
I
for
thought
coming
so.
in tonight.
Thanks for having me.
I think I'm going to have a few. Next week, we're going to have, hopefully, Kevin's going to be coming in with a showcasing. I'm going to talk to him more about that, bringing in some more comedians. And last time he was here, we had a room full of people, and it was poorly trying to get everybody mic'd up. But catch us next week, guys. Thank you so much for coming to the show. I want to thank my guests again. Please, always check us out. It's going to be archived, YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud. Found us there. And you put it on Instagram? No. Okay, never mind. Another thing I screwed up. And we're out.
We'll do it later, yeah.